So my business is called Elevated Oasis Travel. You guys know, you get to pick whatever business name you want, whatever works for you. When I think of traveling and relaxation, I think of Oasis as a really good name for that.
For sure.
To describe that. And I also wanted to take that to another level. So that's where the elevated comes in. So
Love that.
Elevated Oasis Travel.
All right, what is up, everyone? It is episode 38 of Yellow Colored Glasses, and we have an awesome guest on today that I'm super excited about. Known her for a long time, a year older than me in high school. It's been quite a while since we've talked, anything like that. So Callie Guyette is our guest, and she has a travel agency that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff for her, what's going on. She's doing a lot of awesome things. And before we get into that, I'm going to read a review. This is a recent one. We've had a lot of really good stuff going on, and this is from Lauren S. If you are unhappy with your insurance rising prices like I was, this is for you. With the help of my friend Amanda at Warren Mounts Agency, we were able to switch our insurance and save almost $200 a month, even after adding an extra policy. It took me less than a minute to fill out the form online, and she had our new rate ready in less than 24 hours. Thank you, Amanda, for making the switch trusty and seamless. So thank you, Lauren, for the reviews. Look, we're at over 100, but it's only showing 99 for like the last 2 weeks. So thank you guys for the reviews. Those mean a ton to us. And with that being said, I'm going to get into our guest today, and it's Callie. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us kind of a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, all that stuff.
Okay, I'm Callie Guyette. I am now doing almost my 10th year of PT.
Okay.
And I have a 2-year-old son. I've been married for 7 years, but been together with my husband for, 15 this year.
Long time.
So, yeah.
Long time.
Almost as much as I've been out of high school.
That's true. Were you guys dating like right in high school? Like
right
after.
School?
Okay.
Right after.
Okay, that's a long time. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, just momming it up and, making career moves and, just trying to live her dream.
Okay, so we're going to get into the career moves thing.
Yeah.
So, what is your business called?
So, my business is called Elevated Oasis Travel. You guys know, you get to pick whatever business name you want, whatever works for you. When I think of traveling and relaxation, I think of Oasis as a really good name for that.
For sure.
To describe that. And I also wanted to take that to another level. So that's where the elevated comes in. So
Love that.
Elevated Oasis Travel.
Okay, so Callie, one of the things that we do on the podcast, okay, the main reason that we do it, not only to get our insurance stuff out there and all that for people to see us, but we want to highlight local businesses. So obviously you're from here. You've got this travel agency going. Where are you at right now? Like where are you guys located?
So we are just south of Grandview, north of Belton, east of Raymore. So kind of smack dab right in the middle there.
Okay, so you're doing PT, and you said you've got, how old's your son?
2. He just turned 2.
So doing PT, you got a 2-year-old son, been married for 7 years. That's a lot of stuff, right, already.
And I doubled down and got a puppy.
Okay. So what led you to say, hey, I want to open up a business?
Just like the American dream, you just want to make more so you can do more, right? So I wanted to supplement my current income and kind of just got on, was like, hey, how can I do this? And it's like boring data entry stuff that you can work from home or whenever you want to.
Yeah.
But I kind of looked into things a little bit more, and I found this travel agent work from home, home-based travel agency. So you basically own your own business and you run your own business from home. Whatever hours you can. If you have 3 hours to devote to it a week, you have 3 hours. If you have 40 hours plus, you have 40 hours plus.
Yeah.
So that kind of fit into the crazy schedule that I have right now.
Yeah.
That just kind of what led to that start. My husband was a little skeptical at first because, it's a little scary.
Absolutely.
To try to start your own business. It's never, upfront that you see the profit or any of that. I know you know that. So, he knew it would be more of a challenge and more of my time, which
for sure.
We already lead crazy schedules. So, It was just kind of one of those things where, you just take a leap of faith, and, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And, I have PT to fall back on and all that. So I just felt like I really wanted to take the risk. And yeah, I told him to give me a year. Then I would reevaluate if this is something that I still wanted to pursue. It took him about 6 months to get on board, and he was like, okay, now I get it. And then now it's, hey, I come home from PT, I got to book this client, I got to do this, I got to do that. He's like, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can I do to help you? So I definitely couldn't do it without the support of him and, getting the kid ready for bed or dinner or this or that. So it definitely is a team effort. It's definitely not just me.
Yeah, no, you said a lot of really, really cool stuff there. So about taking the leap of faith, taking the risk, all that, and then you get into just now it's a team. Like, it's a team. And I know, so with our business, obviously Jake and I work with our wives, with our spouses, and they're just as much owners of this as we are. Yeah. And so in what you said about not being able to do it without your spouse, having their support, having them on board, having them help you out, like, that makes everything that much better. So with that being said, you're in your first year of doing this, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it'll be a year in June.
Okay. What have been like the biggest struggles so far with starting your own business?
I wish I had more time to devote to my business. I just told him this week, actually, I wish there was like 36-hour days instead of 24-hour days. And like 12 of that can be sleep, and 24 I can grind and do all the work I need to do. So it's the balance. Mm-hmm. Of course, when you're starting up, you're putting a lot into it, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. So I'm grinding away, and it's becoming worth it. And I have to tell myself to, take a step back, spend time with your family, spend time with your husband, your son, go to sleep. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. So, it's just finding the time to do everything I need to do. But we're making it work. Yeah,
so. Nobody sees that on the back end of everything. Mm-hmm. So whenever you're super successful and you're just absolutely blowing up, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, look at Callie, she's doing awesome." They're not gonna remember all the, the first year of all the grind and not getting sleep and trying to raising a family, all those things. So yeah, that is part of it, and it's awesome. There's no better feeling, in my opinion, than working for yourself. And one thing that you said earlier too, you said, worst case scenario, I have PT to fall back on. Mm-hmm. Okay. And at the end of the day, starting up a business, you're like, that's exactly right. Worst case scenario, doesn't work out, you go do something else. Yeah. So I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're having a lot of success with it. So that was kind of talking about the struggles. What have been like the biggest surprises in like a positive way that you've experienced so far?
Just the perks of being a travel agent, honestly. I went to Mexico with really good friends of ours, in November, and we went for their anniversary and our anniversary, like our together anniversary, which is now 15 years. Yeah. And I just told the resort when I got there, I was like, hey, I'm a travel agent, is there any upgrades available? They upgraded us to the master suite with, that's awesome. Something that you just see in like the movies. Yeah. And we didn't pay any extra for it.
That's freaking crazy.
Because they want their travel agents to see, hey, you got to see the best to sell the best and give the best to your clients. So that was a great experience, and that was the first trip we had taken since I've been a travel agent. So now my husband's like, hey, you want to do this every time? A little bit more often, yeah. I was like, okay, back up a little bit. He's like, hey, can you go to the front desk and get some free massages too? I was like, all right, take a step back. So, it was just the travel agent perks, the endless opportunities of where you can go, and actually just having the education and experience of all these different countries and things to do. So I kind of did that before I was a travel agent or had my own business. And so now I'm just like, hey, why don't you just throw that into something you love, which is travel. Making memories.
Yeah, so you actually just led me into my next question. So what goes into being a travel agent? Like, what are the things that you've got to really learn a lot about kind of quickly? Because, even if you love to travel, there's still obviously things that you don't know about how to do that job, right? Or how to provide that for other people. So tell me a little bit about that process and how that's going, or how that's went.
You want to learn about where you have to have a niche. That's what they kind of teach you.
Exactly.
You know, yes, I can say I can send you anywhere, but like you want to have a niche, what you're really good at, what what you feel comfortable with. Mine is all-inclusive resorts because I've been to a lot of them. Those tropical islands. We live right here in Missouri. There's no oceans.
For sure.
So I would say my niche is more that tropical side
Okay.
of everything. You can, get certifications in like the Bahamas and Jamaica, all these things, and learn about the cultures. And so you can suggest things to your clients that maybe they wouldn't know by Google or Expedia or something like that. So you're giving the experience to them that they're wanting out of their vacation that they can't find anywhere else. That your expertise is setting them up for a great vacation that they probably wouldn't get otherwise.
For sure. No, that's a great point. I remember the first time that we went to Mexico. It was our honeymoon. First time I'd been out of the country, and if I would not have had a travel agent that had done that for us, I would have been like freaking out, not knowing what to do, not knowing like. You get out, you get off the plane and you're at the airport and you have a million people telling you that they're going to give you a ride. I'm like,
yeah.
Right? And the literal directions are do not talk to those people. Go to the person that I said is supposed to be waiting for you.
Yep, exactly.
Like, if you don't know
I do
that,
the same.
if you don't know that, like, there's a lot that can kind of go wrong, right, too.
Oh,
So what about different places? Like, how many different places have you went that maybe you never would have since you've been a travel agent? Have you had quite a few of those or not?
No, more of a bucket list.
Okay.
That bucket list has broadened. Than, my Mexico and Dominican and, like my Caribbean islands and stuff like that. My family and I were going to try to go on an Alaskan cruise in the next couple of years. Everybody's on board for that. That's something that we probably wouldn't do otherwise if I wasn't into this. To know those things now.
Yeah.
We got married in St. Lucia. On the beach, so that's kind of what started my travel niche. My husband had never been out of the country. Well, none of us really had, but never been on a beach or even seen the ocean before we got married. I kind of feel bad that I took him to St. Lucia for his first beach experience because now he's spoiled. So that's kind of what started the travel niche, and then from there I just wanted to book travel as often as I could for us. Like, I always wanted to have something to look forward to. The next trip. And then from doing that, I got really good at planning those aspects of it on my own. And my mother-in-law, I planned everything for the wedding in St. Lucia, down to flights, days, all these people that came to our wedding. They want this room category for this amount of time. And then everything for the wedding, all those details. I literally handed that over to another travel agent at the time. And then now I'm like, oh my God, I made her job so easy. Like, she just had to click the button to book it.
That's true.
So my mother-in-law made a joke saying, you should be your own travel agent. You should be a travel agent. And I just laughed it off because, I'm in PT. And then I was like, I kind of am good at this, the planning aspect of it. And knowing where to go, what to do, all those types of things. And then here I am.
That's awesome. So do you have like a routine that I know you being a mom, all that stuff, the two jobs or PT and then your career with the travel agency. What's your routine like? Do you have one set in stone, or is it just kind of every week is a little different, every day is a little different? I'm just trying to figure out what I can put wherever,
Yep. Every day, every hour.
Okay.
Every hour is different. Just this week, sat down, did a quote for a client, went in the kitchen to go grab dinner. My phone, it was a referral from another client that I just got done on that quote. So it's always different. I just try to, get a quote over to somebody within the 48 business hours. Okay. Just so, people aren't waiting weeks, for the vacation quote for anything. So, no, there's really no, get up, get my son ready, get him off to grandma's house and do PT. I, do emails and calls on my lunch breaks and in between and all that type of stuff. So, no real set routine. Just got to get it done.
No,
Whenever I
get
can.
that.
Whenever I
Get that
can.
100%.
And if sleep is the sacrifice for that, I'm willing to do that.
There you go. Okay, so I know you were talking about the Alaskan cruise.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to say, like, do you have a top 5, like, on your bucket list? Or is it, like, only a top 3, or is it...
Oh, well, I tell my clients all the time, I haven't traveled the world yet, but although I'm trying.
You're going to at some point, yeah.
But that's what I love, helping everybody else do.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't been here. Tell me how it is. I'm really excited to go there someday. Everybody wants to go to the Maldives or Bora Bora or Fiji. Obviously those are on the top.
How about Hawaii? Have you been there?
Hawaii, yeah. I would go more, everybody wants the beaches. I can go somewhere else for good beaches too. I would go more for the historical value, like the Pearl Harbor Museum and stuff like that. The historical side of things there. Because I could do excursions anywhere else and all that. But Hawaii is beautiful.
So we went in January, and we went with my mom. She went on a work trip. And we kind of tagged along, so it was kind of saved some money, all that stuff. And I wasn't even really that excited about it. It was kind of like I don't know, it didn't really set in. But when I got there, the craziest part was that you're literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And every single part of we went to Maui, right? So we didn't go to Oahu with the Pearl Harbor and all that. Every beach was different. That was the craziest part of it. So like you'd be on the north side of the island, and the waves are just 50 feet, literally 50 feet on. They had like a warning how they wouldn't let surfers out there, right? But then you go to the other side and it looks like Truman Lake. It's just flat. Seriously, like so. I don't know. It was amazing to me. I would always tell anybody to go back there for that. And then the scenery too was, you felt like you were in like 6 different continents.
Yeah.
Besides Antarctica.
Right. And see, that's what people don't understand. Hey, I want to go to Hawaii. Okay, Hawaii has a lot of islands. We need to narrow it down a little bit. And that's where I come in, because, people's dream is to go to Hawaii, but do you know where you want to go? What do you want to do? Where do you want to stay? That's where I come in, that expertise level of, hey, this, what experience are you looking for? Let's put you somewhere where you can get that. Everybody wants to go.
And every island's different too. Every single island, right? Like Oahu is way more touristy, way more populated.
Yeah,
and Maui's kind of like middle. And then there's another one. I don't even remember what it's called.
The Big Island.
The Big Island, that one, and then there's another one.
Kauai, Maui. Yeah.
Kauai, I think. I don't know if that's the big one or not, but one of them only has 9,000 people on it total. So it's like there's no chains. There's some gas stations and some regular restaurants, and that's it. So, what about goals? Have you sat down and like thought, okay, obviously when you're opening up a business, you're just trying to figure out how to grind through it, make some money, get your feet underneath you. Now that things are kind of going well, you're settling down. What are your big picture goals? Do you have like short term, big, long term, all that stuff?
I would love to do this full time.
Okay.
But I can't take the risk of that right now. But yeah, that'd be great. Work from home, spend more time with my son, spend more time with my husband. That way I'm not, feel like I am working 24 hours a day. That's definitely the goal for me. And it's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's worth it. It's, to have that freedom, that flexibility. Hey, the weather's bad. I don't have to risk my life trying to drive to work today. No. And that's what's good about doing it from home is most of my clientele is all over the country. It's not just local, walk-in travel agency, which is kind of nice because I get referrals from other parts of the country. It's a very wide client base.
So what do you think, and you may not know the answer to this, so don't feel the pressure to answer. What do you think the point is when you do think, okay, I could do this full time from home? Like, what is, in your mind, like where are you looking to get to for that to be an option for you?
Well, I'd say, make more than I make now.
Okay.
And of course, that comes with challenges of, health insurance and all the benefits you get with, working where I'm at now, and stuff like that. But I mean, COVID as a example. I mean, that hit PT clinics hard, just like it hit the world hard. So, you know, it being exposed to the public like that, it's not always the most fun to be out there,
no doubt.
Touching people all day long, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, it would have to be more than I make now, and just make sure that we're secure, build up enough clientele to where that can happen. Just like you guys, you know, have here, you want to make sure that if you take the risk, it's going to continue to provide. And that's the thing. You know, I might have a client that books one trip, but are they going to be a return client?
Yeah, continuous.
Yeah. So you just got to make sure that, you know, it continues going upward and progressing the way you want it to.
So from a prospecting standpoint, you know, you're talking about having clients all over the country. So are you doing a lot of prospecting on your end? Like, are you sitting around on Facebook, like reaching out to all your entire network, letting them know? Are you making calls? How are you doing? How are you getting clients? Like, what's the main thing that you do in that?
So what's really nice about my host agency is, in my team that I'm a part of, is I'm not by myself. Like, if I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about this, I have upline people that are experienced, agents above me that are great. They're super experienced, but you know, they started where I started. So it's nice to see the success they've had in their own businesses. There's daily trainings on different, you know, parts of the world, different vendors, different, you know, different things. And some of that's how to market, how to get clients, how to keep clients, how to talk to clients, all that type of stuff. I feel like some of that I already have from the PT world, you know, like, you're going to put people in pain, you better, you know, make them comfortable while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So you have to have a rapport with somebody at some point in time. So I feel like that part I already have. But it's really hard because most of these clients don't know who I am. They're not sitting down in front of me just like me and you, and can trust me that, hey, you're going to hand me your credit card information while I book you a trip. That can be scary. So it's building that rapport through a phone or through a Zoom call, and that can be hard too.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you're Zooming, if you're doing a lot of Zoom with people.
Here and there, yeah. But most of them, like I said, right now, they're branching off of referrals. So they're already hearing good things and then coming through me that way, which is really nice. But no, I basically, what started it all actually was I reached out to a Facebook group that I'm in and just, you know, started friending some people. And then I've seen their Facebooks that they travel a lot. And I'm just like, hey, you know, or do you need a travel agent, this and that? Well, then I put together a 40-person cruise for
That's probably pretty good.
Yeah. So, and again, I wouldn't have had that otherwise if it wasn't for me reaching out to this particular group. And it's something that they might want to do annually, which is pretty cool. But even 40 people in that one group for a group cruise, I've had people branch out of that. Hey, I'm planning a family vacation to blah, blah, blah. Next year, can you help me? Is that something that you do? And then it's just branching off from there. So that was probably the best thing I could have done to start my business.
Yeah.
So my very first booking as an agent was a 40-person cruise.
That's freaking awesome. Talk about going all in right there. Go big or go home.
Trial by fire. Let's just throw you out there. And that was kind of something that my husband and I joke about. I was like, well, you know, go big or go home.
That's crazy.
We'll see how this works. So. That's kind of how it all started, and it's branching off from there.
Okay, so you mentioned having a host agency. Is the business model at all to where, you know, if you find other people that you want or that want to be a travel agent, are you kind of their upline to where you're helping them out and helping them get going with all this stuff too?
Yeah.
What I'm really asking here is, if somebody wants to be a travel agent, or they're thinking that it's something they're interested in, what is that like? What's that process like if they want to dip their toe into that or go in, you know, into the business? Tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it is just exactly what you were kind of describing. People that are interested, prospective agents, kind of want to learn about it. We have like webinars that you can attend, no pressure. Just watch it. You either decide if you want, you know, to come on board or not. And then you just kind of go from there. But the amount of support that you get in this, on my team and with this host agency is, I mean, I couldn't have done all this on my own.
Yeah.
Like just stepping out, making these relationships with vendors and stuff like that. I have access to my host agency's vendors that they've had, 30 years of experience with. So that's nice to already have all that set up and at my disposal. So just, again, I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own. I mean, most travel agents, like they take 25, 30 years to make those relationships.
For sure.
And I'm already right in there.
Yeah.
So that makes it a lot easier.
What's the startup cost to get going with something like this?
I think I paid like $69.95 or something like that.
Like a monthly fee, or is it?
Yeah, so the host agency, it is just that. You pay for an admin fee. They give you a website that they maintain. I don't even have to touch it. I can get bookings straight from there for people. And then you have a back office site with all this education, videos, vendors, how to to register for your vendors and all this type of stuff. So in the grand scheme of things, yes. But anytime you start a business, you have to invest in it if you want it to be successful. And I feel like that's just a tiny price to pay for having your own work from home business.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And access to vendors all over the world.
Yeah, I was expecting you to say way more than that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty
and the way I think about it is, right now, I mean, I take a gas to go to work every day right now.
No doubt.
So $70 a month. That's not too bad. And you take the certification, which is through them. You don't have to pay for a licensure or anything like that. You have to take a couple courses and pass the test, and you're licensed.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. And talking about the risk of owning your own business and all that, and leaving your full-time job, the thing that I always remember, and it took me a long time to figure that out, is no matter what, nothing is for sure anyway. Like you mentioned COVID and PT and all that stuff. There's a lot of things that can take out someone's job at the end of the day. So you building towards something that you're owning, something that you can completely control, that's just really, really awesome. So I love it. I love what's going on. Tell people where they can find all your stuff, like your website. Tell them do you have Instagram? Do you have all that stuff going on with all your social media?
Yeah, I have 2 Facebook pages. I have, I think you're part of them.
Yep.
I have Callie's Elevated Travelers, which is a Facebook group of people that, just come learn about travel if they want to. Any questions, anything like that. So I have that as a public group. So that can be people on Facebook that don't even know me. Or just want to come to the group to learn. I also have my Elevated Oasis travel page where I post like, hey, mock bookings, hey, this deal's going on right now. Just to make people aware. Yeah, just travel ads. Which sometimes people are like, oh, they're posting this again, but there's that one person out there that's thinking about traveling, they just don't know where. So after that, they're like, oh, I can afford that. I can go that. So just small little marketing like that, and then Elevated Oasis Travel on Instagram as well.
So let's talk about marketing for a second. Okay, and from a marketing standpoint, you just said something about people think they're posting this again, they're posting that again. Okay, consistency on social media, no matter if it annoys people or not, is absolutely the most important thing. I know there's things that we post. And Michaela posts all of our stuff. She does an awesome job with our reels, the different kinds of posts, the different kinds of stuff that we're doing, and it's very, very consistent. And I know for a fact that there's probably people who are like, there's just a ton of stuff. It's constantly just constant. But we have so many people that reach out to us that we have no clue who's watching it. Yep. No clue who's seen it.
Never know who's
They've said
I
don't really engage. I just see it all the time, and then they'll reach out and they'll want to quote, or they'll reach out and say, "Hey, you guys are freaking killing it. You're doing awesome." So don't ever have the mindset of, should I post that today? I don't really want to bother people. Hell no. Post all that stuff all the time and stay consistent with it. And yeah, just keep rolling with that. You're
Yeah,
doing awesome stuff.
an agent on my team last year sold $1 million of travel in a year.
That's good news.
And she posted in groups 3 times a day. You never know who's watching
Nope.
and who's looking. So,
Absolutely. Well, we need to wrap it up because I don't know if our cameras are getting the audio right now, but Callie, thanks for being on. Thanks guys for watching. It's episode 38. Thank you for watching. And you got anything you want to say before we?
No, thanks for bringing me on. Again, this is another avenue for marketing.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's nice.
And we'll send you
Appreciate
clips too. We'll send you the whole thing, and you'll have it. Anything you want to pull out and post on, like just little tidbits that you're talking about in our post, you can post those. So
Awesome.
all right.
Thanks for having me.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you.